welcome to another episode of what we're calling Discipleship Clips. And the purpose of these videos is for us to dive into different cultural issues, different topics that are going on in our everyday lives. And we also want to bring to you different interviews throughout these videos just to get to know different people in our faith family. And today we're joined by Colton Taylor, who is our middle school and missions pastor here at Liberty. And so just want to kind of get to know him and what he's doing in ministry and what's going on in his own life. And so Colton, as we begin, just kind of give me a little bit of your background and family history and what your family is like today.
Yeah, so I'm from about an hour from here in a little town called Parrish. It's close to Jasper. Grew up in a Christian home, went to church every Sunday, came to know the Lord when I was around 9 years old. My mom was really instrumental in that process and in leading me to the Lord. I answered the call to ministry when I was around 16. Ended up going to the University of Mobile for college and then Beeson Divinity School after that.
It's a good school.
Yep. I met my wife Sydney while we were both at the University of Mobile. We just celebrated our third-year anniversary just a couple of weeks ago, so it's been a good 3 years. We now have a 6-month-old son named Titus, and he is a little chunk, and he just keeps growing and growing.
Yes, he is. And you also have a little dog, or
we do. I know. It's ever since we had the son. I forget about the dog.
What's his name?
We do have a dog. His name's Theophilus. Or we call him Theo for short.
There you go. Good deal. Good deal. Well, it's been a joy to have you and your family, here at Liberty. So when it comes to middle school ministry, what would you say are some of the unique challenges and rewards of working with middle schoolers?
Yeah, so I'll start with the rewards first. Some of the biggest rewards in ministry, especially to middle school students, is just watching them get it. Watching them, especially as they go through children's ministry and as they get older, they start out, it's a lot more of their parents' faith, and this is what our parents do, but once they get in middle school, they start you can kind of see whether it's their parents' faith or whether it's their own faith that they're living through. And just watching students, it start to click and them starting to own their own faith, and it be their own thing. And then just watching them get into the Word, fall in love with Scripture, because as you see them get into the Word, it just starts to click. So that's definitely one of the greatest rewards, is seeing that happen. Now, along with challenges, or we'll call them opportunities. Opportunities, yes. Yeah. There's a really wise man who he calls all of our problems opportunities.
I don't know that I go that far.
But just some of the greatest opportunities is middle school students they're definitely in a time where they're trying to figure out who they are and where they fit in. They're starting to try out for different sports or activities, and they're either making the team or they're not. Friend groups are just a nightmare in middle school. It's awful. So they're just really trying to find their place and where they fit in. And there's so many different things and different sources out there telling them where to find their identity and where they fit in and what's their purpose. Most of those things are lies, things they see from their peers or culture or social media or even just the enemy himself. But so just one of the greatest opportunities is trying to help them find the answers to all those questions in Scripture. And just rooting them in Scripture and where Scripture says their identity is and what Scripture says their purpose is. And another thing in that, with them having that kind of freedom there too, is just there's a great opportunity with parents in that, and how they're leading them to find those answers in Scripture, and just our ministry to parents during that time, because it's a struggle. They have this innocent child that they've seen grow up and super easy going, and then all of a sudden they get into middle school and the parents are just like, what's happened to my sweet little child? He's turned into a little monster. But yeah, so that is definitely a really big challenge, especially on the parents' end, is just watching that transition and then trying to help their students find those answers in Scripture, and being the primary discipler of their children.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine. So when I was in middle school, smartphones weren't around yet, social media was not a thing, and it was hard enough. And then you add on top of that all the voices, not only from your immediate surroundings, your immediate friends and peers and stuff, but now you've got voices from all over the world, really, that are pouring into them. I can imagine that it's a nightmare in many ways for these middle schoolers to try to figure out who they really are. And so got an important job for sure. So you also are our missions pastor. And so just kind of give me a vision for the missions ministry here at Liberty. Of course, COVID has completely turned upside down many of your plans. I know, at the beginning of the year when you came on full time, there were all these plans, and then March hits and everything goes to pieces. So kind of give us what's going on with missions right now. I know a lot of our brothers and sisters are not being able to gather here on campus, so it can be hard for them to understand that ministry is still going on, missions is still happening. So what are some of the things that the missions ministry is doing now, and what kind of is your vision for the missions ministry going forward?
Yeah, so missions definitely right now, the plans that we had at first, just because especially with social distancing and different things like that, and just a lot of people not feeling comfortable getting out. Missions has just kind of taken more of especially supporting missions right now through financial means is really big right now, when we can't be so hands-on.
Right.
I mean, that's just kind of in every part of life right now. It's kind of affected. You can't be so hands-on things. But the missions still is going on. We still have plenty of people in our congregation who are out meeting their neighbors, living missionally around their neighborhoods, and having gospel conversations. We still are always supporting our missions partners financially. We've seen our congregation do a great job in supporting some of our local ministries like King's Home. They've just stepped up to the plate and given a lot to them here lately.
That's good.
And so missions is still going on, even though maybe we're not hands-on right now.
Yeah.
But going forward, my vision for the missions ministry is to definitely see our church just live missionally minded, living out the Acts 1:8 missions model, being Christ's witnesses in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the world. Just starting here locally in Chelsea, living on mission as you go to the ball field, wherever you are. We have plenty of ministries here locally that I would love to see us partner with on a more consistent basis, and having that consistent presence with them. And then even just being missionally minded for around the world, because the work of the ministry is still going on around the world, and it's so easy for us to just get caught up in our bubble where we live. But just to have that mindset that the work of the ministry is going on everywhere. Yeah. Because we have our missions partners that we support every single month in Montana and California and New Orleans and Liberia and Senegal. So all the work of the ministry is going on, and we're participating in that by giving financially. But sometimes we forget that all that's going on out there.
Well, and we've also got a young couple that's they're missionaries staying in the missions house right now, that we've been able to be a place of rest for them. So that's awesome. And just the way that Chelsea is growing, the opportunities to reach so many people here, people here that are not just from around the state, but people from around the world that are moving to Chelsea, so that those opportunities are just expanding. So important part. So when it comes to COVID, and let's kind of shift gears to your own personal faith. COVID has presented challenges to all of us when it comes to our own spiritual growth. So how have the last few months proven to be challenging, and also a time of growth in your own personal walk with the Lord?
Yeah, so I'm definitely a person who likes to have control over things. I like to have a plan. And this time in life has shown that we don't have control over anything, especially having a baby on the front end of this pandemic. I've just realized that I have no control, and that's been really hard for me. But it has been a growing season of learning just to let go and to trust the Lord. Because when we try to stay in control, it just causes a lot of anxiety, and just because there's nothing we can do about it. Right. But just being able to let go and find rest in that and in trusting in God has been it's been a lot of. It's been difficult growth, yes.
And the growth.
Yes.
Yeah, I can understand. I like my control, and I like my order and routine, and that's been blown to smithereens for sure. So when it comes to your quiet time, we know that getting in the Word consistently, being in communion with the Lord through prayer, those kinds of things are important. What does your average kind of quiet time look like on any given day?
Yeah, so it's especially ever since having a baby, it has been hard. Yeah. Just our schedules are never consistent or the same. Yeah. So that's been one of the things me and Sydney have had to be really intentional about, is asking each other those hard questions like, hey, what did you read today? Or what have you been reading? That's good. So that's been helping both of us here lately. Yeah. But definitely when I get into scripture, I like to just read straight through a whole book of the Bible. So right now I'm working through the book of Romans. Okay. Because I really love the theology there to look at, and just,
there's a lot there.
It's a good reminder too of not to live in the flesh, but be living in the Spirit. Which times like COVID-19, this pandemic, it's really easy to live in the flesh, but give that up and die to that, to live in the Spirit.
That's good.
It's been a good reminder.
That's good. So. I want to just kind of end our time with just some quick questions that are just fun questions, random questions. Just gives us a little window into who you are. If you could go anywhere in the world for a time, money wasn't an issue, time wasn't an issue, childcare wasn't an issue, you could take Sydney anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Is COVID
is gone. COVID's gone.
Good, because me and Sydney are what has been on our list is going to Italy. Okay, but that has been a hotbed for COVID right now.
Yeah, so. Let's say Italy without COVID.
We want to go to Italy and travel up and down. Definitely go to Rome and some other different places in Italy.
There you go. That'd be a really good one. In terms of just vacation spots, where do y'all typically go on vacation?
We both love the beach. So hopefully we'll get to go here over the next month sometime and take Titus for his first beach trip.
Oh yeah, see if he likes the sand.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Good deal. What beach do y'all like to go
to? Most of the time we just go down to Gulf Shores, Orange Beach area.
There you go. Cool. Favorite movie?
I love all the Avenger movies. I'm a Marvel fan.
Oh yeah.
So those are definitely my favorite movies.
What's the best one?
The first one.
Well. You said it with such certainty.
I did. I love the first one, but the last couple are really good too. So.
Okay, I haven't made it there yet.
Oh,
we're slowly making our way.
You want all through the whole Marvel series?
Yes, all of them. So
in order.
Well, the order depends on who you talk to.
That's true.
So we found a website that gave us the order, and it claimed to be the best. So we're slowly working our way through. We've taken a little break recently, but so obviously the Lord has called you to be a pastor. That's evident to anyone who knows you. If that calling had never come, and you had just an opening for any career or job that you could see yourself doing, what would that be?
So this I know this one like that because from the time I was little, I always wanted to be a dentist. I really did.
Really?
Like I used to sit in church. Like my mom still has some of them, and on my bulletin I would draw what my dentist office would look like one day. Yeah, but then the Lord called me to ministry. It was a challenge because at first I really did. I played it off like, well, God, if you're going to call me to ministry, I'll be a full-time dentist and a part-time pastor. But after praying about it, he said, no. So I gave that up, but
I did not know that about you.
Yeah.
See? Learn something new every day. So, well, Colton, thank you for joining me for this. And like I said earlier, we are privileged to have you on staff. Your family is a precious family, and we're glad to have y'all here. And just pray God's blessings on your ministry. And liberty is better for having the two of you and Titus now a part of our faith family, for sure. So faith family, again, thank you for watching this. Thank you for tuning into these discipleship clips. And until next time, know that we love you and we are here for you. If we can serve you in any way or be praying for you, let us know, and we'd love to minister to you. And until next time, have a wonderful day and be blessed by the Lord.